Well, our next speaker is Debbie Peterson. Debbie Peterson is an unstoppable force of empowerment who helps individuals unlock and achieve their potential without sacrificing, what's most important. As a nationally sought-after keynote speaker and consultant, she has inspired countless people to identify their next level of leadership with clarity and focus. Even through her unique career clarity system, Debbie gives them the tools and motivations to achieve it. Personally, Debbie chases sunshine from Pennsylvania to Florida with her husband, Tom. Get ready to be inspired by Debbie's passion for helping leaders and those who inspire to be create more success with less sacrifice. Welcome to the stage, Debbie Peterson.
Do you ever feel like sometimes you're just chasing everything, not really getting anywhere, not ending up in the right place, not focused on the right things? It's kind of no wonder, because we have a lot going on, don't we? And I'm going to prove it to you. So here's what I'd like to ask you to do. Put a fist in the air like this, and I promise I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want. And here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to say a series of statements. If you personally agree with a statement, each time that happens, you raise a finger, all right? And we're gonna start really easy. So first and foremost, how many of you work full-time? Raise a finger. Not that finger. Oh my goodness. Okay. How many of you have small children at home? Okay. How many of you have an adult child in the home? Also known as a spouse, a significant other, partner. Yeah. Okay. Raise a finger. How many of you might have aging parents who need a little bit of your time or perhaps a lot of time? Part of that sandwich generation? Raise a finger. How many of you have something that you give your time and your talents to, like something philanthropic in the community, something that pulls at your heartstrings? Put up a finger. How many of you, on top of all of that, are carrying something heavy, like a death, a divorce, or a disease? Put up a finger. Now look around the room. Look around the room. I see very few zeros and ones. Go ahead, put your hands down. We've got a lot going on. Now you're thinking, okay, Debbie, thank you so much for telling me everything that I have going on, and now you're going to tell me what else I need to do to be a more empowered and inspired leader to my teams. No, I'm not. Because it is not about adding to who you are to show up as your highest and best self in your leadership and in your life. It is about discovering what is covering you up. The most successful leaders are the ones who understand who they are, and they can remain true to their authentic self. And that's what we get to play with today. And I like to play. Usually I'm down there in the audience with you. Authenticity. Authenticity is something that can move the needle in an exponential way in your career. But a lot of people don't know what it is and how to build more of it as they aspire into leadership, or no matter where they are in their leadership timeline. So let's start with a definition of authenticity. We'll go with my definition, because I'm up here, right? It is clarity of who you are and the choice to live that way every single day. And how often do we do that? Because what I have noticed is there's obstacles. And I've noticed 3 really big obstacles to showing up authentically in your career, in your leadership, in your life. First is confusion. Second is chameleon. Third is chaos. Confusion. Confusion is you don't know what's really important to you. In your personal life or professional life, you're chasing some form of success, but you don't know and haven't defined it. You don't know what's important to you. Chameleon, you are trying to be everything to everyone. And that's a little exhausting. And in chaos, We're just focused on everything. We got our little fingers in everyone, right? Everything. We're just trying to handle it all. So today I'd like to focus on the chameleon. For a lot of people that I have met, especially women in leadership or aspiring leaders, they think they need to show up as someone other than who they are in order to get ahead. And the thing is with that is that if you don't know who you are, then what are you bringing to the table? So the question becomes, who are you? Right? Who are you? And the fun thing is when I do this with my audience is I ask them, who are you? And I hear, well, I'm a banker, I'm a realtor, I'm a nurse, I'm a $1 million producer, I'm a CEO. But you're more than that. Those are just labels. Who are you without the labels? That's where the rubber hits the road. But people don't know. So we do an exercise where we explore I am statements. And in the longer program, you go through and you actually write your I am statements. And so I would like you to start thinking in this direction today of 5 I am statements of who you are without the labels. So for instance, I'll give you some of mine to get you started. I am a woman who likes to drive fast. I like to be first. I got a little bit of competitiveness in me. I am a woman who loves to feel the sunshine on her face, preferably at the park with my grandson Quinn, who's 2.5. I am a woman who loves to cook, and that's how I show my love for the people that I care about. And I'll dance a little bit in the kitchen while I'm doing it. I am a woman who loves her family deeply and will protect them fiercely when need be. And I'm also a woman who is very spiritual. I need to have that connection to something that is more than me and to be guided by it. So think about who you are without the labels. And here's why that's important, is because when we put a lot of ourselves into these labels, when we put a lot of energy into these labels, then we can struggle when whatever is underneath shifts. It can rock our world a bit. Think about it. Have you ever known someone who has retired and it hasn't gone very well? They don't know who they are. They're not doing the same role. They're not going into the same place, meeting with the same people. They don't know who they are outside of that job. Have you ever known someone who has struggled, maybe after a divorce or a bad breakup? They don't know who they are outside of the couple. How about kids? Anybody here ever send their kids to college? Show of hands? Yeah. And for those of you who have little kids, it's coming quicker than you think. And I will tell you, I remember like it was yesterday taking my son Mitch to college in the vehicle, driving across the interstate, and we pull off the ramp and into the parking lot, and I can just feel the apprehension coming up. This kid is out of the truck and around the back sooner than I can put the vehicle in park. He is so excited. You know, the liftgate, just the treasure trove of things that you buy for your kids when you send them off to school. So we're shuttling all the stuff upstairs, you know, the different loads. And Mitch is so excited to meet his new dorm mates. And after a while, I can just kind of tell it's time for me to go. I'll walk you out, Mom. He races down the stairs, and I am just trying to stretch out the time a little bit longer, and each tread I hit, I am chanting to myself, you will not cry. And ruin this for him. He gives me a big hug, he gives me a kiss on the cheek, and he is just back into the building. It is all I can do to make it into my vehicle, and I lose it. I am just sobbing. Who am I when he's not there every day? Who am I when he's not coming to me for advice, for guidance? Who am I when I don't know who he's hanging around or what he's doing during the day? Now, that was a local college. It was about 5 miles down the road. But still, My mom identity was taking a beating, and that is kind of the danger of what we put into those labels. So here's my challenge for you to think about this, because you may be thinking, okay, I understand how this works for me, but what does it have to do with business? The most successful leaders are the ones who show up as their authentic self. They know who they are and they stay true to that authentic vision. When you show up in the workplace and you are not authentic to who you are, then everybody is getting a second-rate version of you. You aren't bringing your full self into your organization, and you aren't bringing the piece that can have the biggest impact, not only for your organization, but for your community, and who knows, maybe even the world. So get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, or a glass of wine if that's how you roll. No judgment. Consider who you are underneath the labels. Get clear on what it is that drives you, what your passions are, that authenticity, and bring that each and every day. It's your choice. With that, I'm going to say it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to being of good service to you soon. Take care and bye-bye for now.